Welcome to Discrete Structure 2, and in this video we are going to be discussing about trees in mathematics. So, what are trees exactly? The first thing that you might think is gonna be something like this, right? But that's not exactly what we are talking about. A tree is a set of straight line segments connected at their ends, containing no closed loops. In other words, it is a simple, undirected, connected, acyclic graph. Let's take a look at the example shown below. As you can see, what describes a tree in mathematics is its simplicity, meaning that there are no complicated things going around it. You can also see that it is undirected, meaning that there are no indicated ends, connected, meaning that its segments are attached to each other, and acyclic, meaning that there are no circuits going on about. Now that we know the definition of trees, now let us talk about what is the purpose of trees in mathematics. In mathematics, trees play a vital role in modeling hierarchical relationships, like family trees and organizational charts, and are crucial for efficient data searching through structures like binary search trees, BSTs. They also support the evaluation of expressions in computing and algebra, where trees organize and simplify complex calculations. In order to understand more about its purpose, let's take a look at its example applications. So, in mathematics, trees has a lot of uses, including algorithm, searching data, organization charts, decision trees, routing networks, database indexing, and many more. Most of these applications uses the concept of trees because of its efficient and hierarchical structure. Now that we know the basic concept of trees, let us now dive deeper and further into the topic.
Hello everyone, I would like to introduce myself before I begin. My name is Margaret S. Calixtro and I'm here to present the topic that I was assigned, which is the basic terminologies in trees. Trees are a fundamental nonlinear data structure used to represent hierarchical relationships. They consist of nodes connected by edges, which each node storing the data and references to the other nodes. These structures allows for efficient organization and retrieval of data, making it widely used in a various applications like a file systems, database, and a compiler design. Today, we will explore the intriguing realm of the data tree structures. One effective tool for organizations and illustrating hierarchical relationship is a tree. Imagine them as a branches that to go out to different descendants from our root ancestors, much like a family trees. The first one is the node. Ito yung mga pangunahing unit ng isang puno na kumakatawan sa isang individual na mga elemento. Maaari nating isipin to sa in reality na isa tong kahon na naglalaman na mga information. Ang mga nodes ay maaaring maglaman ng mga numero, letra, o kahit mga ibang puno. And the next one is the edge. Ito yung mga connection sa pagitan ng dalawang nodes na nagpapakita sa isang relasyon ng magulang at anak. Dito natin makikita yung dalawang sanga na nag-uugnay para ma-identify natin sila kung sino yung parent node and child node. Sa root node naman, ito yung pinakamataas na hierarchy ng puno. Ito yung sinasabi nating walang magulang or ito yung magsisimula sa pinakapunto. Sa isang puno, siya yung masasabi natin, siya yung pinakang puno ng puno kung saan nagsisimula yung mga sanga. And the parent node. Ito yung mga nakakonekta sa kanya ng child nodes. Leaf node. Yung leaf node is masasabi nating walang mga anak. Siya yung kumakatawan sa dulo ng puno na masasabi nating siya yung dahon ng isang puno ng mga walang sanga. The next one is sibling. Ito yung mga node na nagbibigay sa atin na masasabi natin na iisa lang yung magulang na pinagmulan nila. Sila yung mga iisang magulang. Kung meron tayong leaf node or tinatawag na external node, meron naman tayong internal node or non-terminal node. Ito yung masasabi nating may anak na hindi higit na bababa sa isa. And the last one is the child node. As I remember, nasabi ko na siya kanina na siya yung anak ng parent node na para ma-identify natin yung parent node, makikita natin sa baba nito yung child node. Now that we have a basic understanding of this terminology, we can delve deeper into the fascinating worlds of trees, different kind of trees, how to navigate them, and how they may be applied to address practical issues will be covered. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Carl Andre Inocencio, and I'm gonna just ask you the example of trees. So let's go. Let's break down these three types. So magbibigay tayo ng mga example ng three types. So number one, binary. Binary tree. Ang definition niya is a binary tree is a tree where each node has at most two children. Think of it like a branching path where each other node splits into two directions. So meron tayong dalawang node na nagre-represent ng two children na nag-split into two directions. So, So, naghihiwalay siya, kumbaga. Separated siya like left and right. Then under nun, meron pang two children or two leaves. Key feature, the maximum number of children a node can have is two. So, ibig sabihin, yung pinaka-maximum ng children na pwede magkaroon yung parent is two. Example, in a family tree, in we only considered parent and their immediate children could be represented as a binary tree. So, yun, ito nga. So, as the word binary, by, dalawa. Then, ayun, ito nga yun, pinaka-maximum niya na dalawa. Patulad na ito, 1. 1 ang pinaka-root natin, 2, 3, pinaka-nodes, dalawa. Then, ang sumunod nun, 4, 5, 6, under ulit. Dalawa lang talaga siya kasi binary. Then, last one, yung leaves natin, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14. So, yun. Then, number 2, rooted tree. Definition, a rooted tree is a tree where one specific node is designated as the root. These nodes act as the starting point for the entire tree structure. Key feature, every node in the tree connected to the root to the unique path and provides a clear hierarchy and direction. Example, in a family tree, the oldest known ancestor is the typically considered the root. All other family members are connected to this ancestor through the unique lineage. So, ang pinaka-keyword nga dito is root. Kumbaga rooted. Root, pinaka-ugat. Kumbaga kung saan ba nagsimula lahat. So, yung best example nga rito is family tree. Kung ano natin, kung sino ba yung pinaka kanununuan natin. Siya yung pinaka-root, siya yung pinagmulan ng family natin. Kumbaga. So, ito may example tayo rito. Ito yung root node natin. Kumbaga, ito yung pinaka-ugat. Then, yung sumunod doon, yung mga internal node. Then, sunod na yung leaf node. Kumbaga, yung leaf, ayan. Doon. Actually, parang nga lang siyang binary rin. Ang problema lang, hindi siya dalawa lang. Tatlo siya. Then dalawa. So, yun. That's it. Yun lang. Maraming salamat at sana marami kayong natutunan. Yun lang. Thank you.
everyone, my name is Gabriel Lacros. I'm from BSCS 23. I'm going to teach about binary tree. Now, what is binary tree? A binary tree is a type of data structure where each node has at most two children, often referred to as a left and right children. This is a left and a right children. Each node stores a value, and the structure resembles a tree with a root, branches, and leaves. At the very top, we have the root node. It's the starting point of the tree. This is our starting point. It's called root node. From there, we have internal nodes, nodes with children, and leaf node and the leaf node which have no children. In a binary tree, each node can branch out into two directions: the left and the right node, left branch and right branch. There are different types of binary trees. This is full binary tree. Every node has either 0 or exactly 2 children only. Next is complete binary tree. Complete binary tree is a tree where all levels are fully filled except possibly for the last, which is filled from left to right. And the next is balanced binary tree. Balanced binary tree ensure the height differences between left and right subtrees is minimal, making operation more efficient. Binary trees are commonly traversed in three main ways: in order, where you visit the left child, then the node, and the right child. Pre-order, where you visit the node first and the left child, and the right child. And post order, where you visit the left child, right child, and the node last. Binary trees are powerful in computer science. They help in efficient searching and sorting. Algorithms like binary search trees are used in applications like expression parsing, UFON coding, and many more. So that's a quick overview of binary trees. They form the foundation for many complex data structure algorithms. Thanks for watching.
Hello, ako si Erdon at i-cover ko ang binary search trees. Ang binary search trees or BSTs ay uri ng binary trees. So katulad ng China noong 2016, meron silang two-child policy. Hahaha. Okay, sorry. Yes, binary tree ang BST, pero hindi katulad ng binary tree na pwedeng shoot lang ng shoot ng nodes. Ang BST ay meron dalawang properties na sinusunod sa order ng nodes. First property ng BST ay lahat ng nasa left subtree ng isang node ay dapat mas maliit sa kanya. Halimbawa, tignan natin ng 20. Walang number sa buong left subtree niya ay mas malaki sa 20. Then sa left subtree ng 10, ang highest ay 8. Still less than 10. Tapos tignan natin ang left child node ng 5, yung node 3, na obviously mas maliit. At yung nodes ng left subtree ng 30, nakita na lahat ay mas maliit sa kanya. Then yung second property naman ng binary search trees ay lahat ng nasa right subtree ng isang node ay dapat mas malaki sa kanya. Ngayon, tignan naman natin yung right subtree ng 20. Ang lowest dito ay 21, mas malaki ng isa sa 20. Katulad rin ng right subtree ng 30 na ang 34 ang pinakamababa, mas malaki pa rin sa 30. Then yung right child node ng 15, mas maliit ang 15 sa 17, and so on. Ang BST ay mayroong tatlong importanteng operations. Ito ang search, insertion, and deletion. Malinaw at self-explanatory naman ang mga terms. Search, ginagamit sa paghahanap ng nodes. Ang insertion naman, pagdagdag ng nodes. And deletion, syempre, ay sa pagbubura ng nodes. Magsimula tayo sa search. Halimbawa, hahanapin natin ang node 12. Gagamitin natin yung dalawang properties ng BST at magsisimula tayo lagi sa root node. Ang 12 ba ay mas malaki sa 20 or mas maliit? Mas maliit. Punta tayo ng left. Dito naman sa 10, mas malaki ba ang 12 dito or mas maliit? Mas malaki. Punta tayo ng right. Then kumpara naman natin sa 15. Mas malaki ba o mas maliit ang 12? Mas maliit. Punta tayo ng kaliwa, then bam! Nahanap na natin tong 12. Ganito po ang search operation ng binary search trees. Gawin naman natin ang insertion or pag-a-add ng node. Sabihin natin magdadagdag tayo ng node 28 sa binary search tree natin. Again, gagamitin natin ang properties at magsisimula tayo sa root node. Mas malaki ba ang 28 sa 20? Yes, pumunta tayo ng kanan. Mas maliit or mas malaki ba ang 28 sa 30? Mas maliit, pumunta tayo ng kaliwa. Ikumpara naman natin sa node 25. Mas malaki. And lastly, sa node 26. Mas malaki si 28, kaya magiging right child siya ni 26. Ito na po ang insertion. Dito naman tayo sa pangatlong operation, deletion. Dahil sa nature mismo ng binary search trees ay nagmula sa binary trees, tatlong uri lang ng nodes ang pwede nating burahin. Yun ang leaf node or walang anak, node na may isang child node, at node na may dalawang anak or child nodes. Unahin natin ang leaf node. I-delete natin yung node 3. Kapag leaf node ang i-delete, wala itong epekto sa mga natitirang nodes ng BST. Kung ang node naman na i-delete ay may isang child node, katulad ng 5, pag binura natin siya, mamanahin lang ng isa niyang anak, si node 8, ang pwesto niya. Pero pag ang i-delete naman na node ay may dalawang child node, ang papalit sa binurang node ay yung sumunod na mas mataas na node sa ilalim niya. Halimbawa, i-delete natin ang node 35. Ang sumunod na mas mataas sa ilalim niya ay ang node 39. Kaya yan ang ipapalit natin sa 35. Try naman natin sa node 30. Ang condition ng pagpapalit sa node na may dalawang child node ay ang next higher sa node na buburahin, not necessarily yung highest. Kaya pag binura natin ang node 30, ang magumana ng pwesto niya ay ang 34. Ito po ang deletion operation. Ito po ang binary search trees. Thank you.
Hi, hello. Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Jervy Angelo Iraga, and today we'll discuss the topic about rooted trees. So, without further ado, let's start. Rooted trees. Rooted trees are fundamental structures in mathematics, particularly in graph theory, that provide a hierarchical way to represent relationship in organized data. So basically itong rooted trees is pinapakita niya yung relationship ng mga bagay-bagay nang may paggamit ng antas. Pinakamadaling example nito is yung family tree. At mamaya ipapakita ko sa inyo kung bakit nga ba ginagamit yung rooted trees para mas mapadali o organize yung data. Next is definition of terms. Yung mga terms dito is babasahin ko muna. Then explain ko mamaya mayroon akong picture na ipapakita. I-explain ko doon kung ano nga ba yung mga nandito sa definition of terms. So let's start. Parent, the node directly above a given node in tree. So, ito yung katulad na lang ng sa family nyo, parent. Child, a node directly below a given node in the tree. Child, anak ng parent. Sibling, node that share the same parents. Katulad ng may kapatid, nag-share kayo ng same parent. Sa ancestor, a node on the path from a root to a given node including the node itself. Ito yung mga mas aged na sa family. Descendants, a node of path from a given node to leaf, including the node itself. Leaf, a node with no children. So basically, yung leaf, wala siyang children. Yun lang. Yung node na walang children. Internal vertex, a node that is not a leaf. That is not a leaf. So, kabaliktaran naman nito ng leaf. Ito naman na internal vertex, dito mo naman makikita yung may mga anak siya. Next. Naman sa conceptual illustration, dito natin mapapakita kung ano nga ba yung nasa definition of terms kanina. So, etong nasa taas, yung person A, siya yung root, siya yung pinagmumulan. And pwede mo rin siyang tawagin parent. Ang parent, matatawag mo siyang parent kapag may anak siya. Katulad nito ni person A. Pwede siyang parent kasi meron siyang children. Ang child niya is si person B, C, and D. At si person B, C, and D naman, sila yung sibling kasi magkakapatid sila. At yung leaf naman, ito yung mga nodes or person na wala na silang anak. Sa kanila na nagtatapos. Katulad na lang ni E, F, G, H, I, J. Si person E, F, G, H, I, J sila yung mga leaf kasi sa kanila na nagtatapos. Yung internal vertices naman is kabaliktaran ng leaf katulad nga kanina. Sila naman yung may mga anak, katulad naman ni person A, B, C, D. Ancestor naman, ito yung mga mas matanda. Katulad na lang ni person E and F. Ancestor nila si A and B. At sa descendants naman, um, ganito papakita yung descendants. Si person A, descendants niya si B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. At ang descendants naman ni B is si E, F. Ganun lang. Basta kung sino yung mas mababa sa kanila. Dito naman sa real life, pinaka-common na nagagamit itong rooted trees is sa decision trees. Kasi ginagamit to panggawa ng desisyon para mas maging mapadali yung pag-decide. Katulad na lang dito sa examples, weather. Yung weather, siya yung root, siya yung pinagmulan. So, may tatlo yan, sunny, cloudy, rainy. Sila yung child nung weather. So, i-consider mo yan. Kung sunny, i-consider mo yung humidity. Kung yung humidity is mataas, hindi ka lalabas. At kung humidity is normal, lalabas ka. So, etong humidity na to, ancestor niya si weather. Doon nagmula yung idea eh. Kung cloudy naman, yes, lalabas ka. And sa rainy, kung rainy nga, consider mo yung wind. Kung malakas, hindi ka lalabas. At kung mahina, lalabas ka. Ayun, wind, ancestor niya si weather. At yung descendants naman ni weather is yung sunny, cloudy, rainy, humidity, wind. Kasi sa kanya nanggaling yung idea. In conclusion, rooted trees are versatile structures that provide a powerful way to represent hierarchical relationship in various mathematical and real-world contexts. Their ability to organize data and illustrate complex relationship makes them a valuable tool in fields like computer science, statistics, and decision theory. So, ito talaga yung yung rooted trees is magagamit mo talaga siya sa maraming aspect ng buhay. And may mataas ang possibility na ma-encounter siya and magamit mo siya dahil sa power nito mag-organize and mas mapadali yung paghanap ng relationship ng mga bagay-bagay. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss MRE3. MRE3 is a generalization of a binary tree where every node has m or less children. If every node of an MRE tree has either m or 0 children, then the tree is called a full MRE tree. If every leaf node of a full MRE tree is at the same depth, the tree is said to be perfect. If all levels except the last one are full, the tree is said to be complete. Now we have traversal method. Similarly as with binary trees, we have pre-order traversal. Visit a node, then traverse the subtrees rooted at its children, going from left to right. Post-order traversal. Recursively traverse all subtrees rooted at the children first and then visit the root node. In order traversal, traverse the left subtree, visit the root node, and then traverse the right subtree. In order to do in-order traversal, we must first define the notion left and right subtree. Standard way of doing this when having m greater than 2 children is to divide the list of child nodes into two non-overlapping groups which will constitute the left and right subtree. For example, here for m is equal to 3, left subtree will be 0, 1. 3 over 2 is equal to 1, and right subtree will be 2. Now we have methods of storing MRE trees. Arrays. If the tree is a complete MRE tree, this method wastes no space in this compact arrangement. If a node has an index I, its child in range is found at index m.I plus c. The space complexity of this method is O m over n. Now we have pointer base. Each node will have an internal array for storing pointers to each of its m children. Compared to array-based implementation, This implementation method has superior space complexity of O m times n. There are a lot of applications in MRE3 and some of them are described as follows. The MRE3 is useful in color quantization. We can use it in mesh generation and image processing. In case of natural language processing application, we will use the parse and grammar trees. In case of rendering and collision detection, we can use game engines. We can represent the structure of program with the help of abstract syntax trees. We can show a file system data structure. Here node is used to represent the files and folders in many more places. In the following image, we will indicate an example of a grammar tree like this. Now, we proceed on conclusion. General MRE trees have many applications ranging from computer science and compiler design to 2D or 3D, image processing and rendering. It is very important to have a general MRE 3D structure in Paro to be used as a starting point for building interesting projects in different areas. And that's all. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin Degolacion, and my topic is center and bicenter of trees. Centers and bicenter of trees. The eccentricity of a vertex x in a tree G is the maximum distance between the vertex x and any other vertex of the tree. The maximum eccentricity is the tree diameter. The center of a tree is a vertex with minimal eccentricity of a tree has only one center. It is called central tree, and if a tree has only more than one center, it is called bicentral tree. Every tree is either central or bicentral. Algorithm to find centers and bicenters of a tree. Remove all vertices of degree 1 from the given tree and remove their incident edges. Repeat step 1 until either a single vertex or two vertices joined by an edge is left. If a single vertex is left, then it is the center of the tree. And if two vertices joined by an edge is left, then it is the bicenter of the tree. Now we have here example number 1. Find the center and bicenter of the tree. First, we will remove all vertices of degree 1 as well as their incident edges. First, remove G as well as their incident edges. E, C, and D. Now we have three remaining vertices. Two of them out of degree 1 we will remove, as well as their incident edges. We remove F and B. So we have now a single vertex A, and A is the center of the tree. Example number 2. Find the center and bicenter of the following tree. Sample number 2 of our vertices of degree 1 or our vertices of degree 1 are J, K, E, N, P, and D. And we will remove vertices and their incident edges. Now on the vertices G and I out of degree 1, we will remove them also and their incident edges. Now we have two vertices F and C with degree 1. We will remove them and their incident edges. Now we are left with two vertices A and B and edge that are connecting them. So this tree is a bicentral. And that's all. Thank you.